there's not a week that goes by, at least when Taika Waititi's out there doing interviews or press tours or whatever, it seems like there's not a week that goes by where Taika Waititi doesn't manage to piss somebody off, whether it's Star Wars fans, whether it's Marvel fans, whatever. And once again, his comments, at least you can say one thing for Taika Waititi, at least he's honest. At least he's honest about how he feels specifically about some of the movies that he's worked on. And when it comes to Thor, he just straight up admitted, you know what? I didn't like Thor. I kind of hated that character. I was not interested in this character at all, but I did the movie for the money. Taika Waititi had no interest in directing a Marvel movie, took Thor Ragnarok because he was poor, and it was a great opportunity to feed his kids. If that's like kind of all he said, it would have just been whatever. And obviously, Taika Waititi's, there's always a layer of humor there as well. But it's how he talks specifically about Thor and Thor comics that makes it so interesting. The Oscar winner said he originally accepted the Ragnarok gig for money as he just had his second child. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I think that's a problem with these franchises in general. When it comes to Marvel and Star Wars, you should be out there hiring people that care about it. There are plenty of people out there that care about it. You can get them and you will have a consistently better product when it's people that fucking care about it. But here's the quote. You know what? I had no interest in doing one of those films, what Waititi said. It wasn't on my plan for my career as an auteur, but I was poor and I just had a second child. And I thought, you know what? This would be a great opportunity to feed these children. And Thor, let's face it, it was probably the least popular franchise. I never read Thor comics as a kid. That was the comic I'd pick up and be like, ugh. And then I did some research on it. I read one Thor comic, or 18 pages, however long they are. I was still baffled by this character. I like how that's his research. I read one comic.
Jesus.
But at least you could give him credit for being honest. A lot of people just lie and say how important these characters were to them growing up and blah, blah, blah. At least Taika Waititi was honest about it.
Yeah, but this guy just truly doesn't care. I mean, goes back to I'll ruin your mythos, baby. You know, it's the mindset. And it's one thing if these things are said, but then the product actually is pretty good. Now, I haven't seen Thor Love and Thunder. Apparently, it was horrible. Like, how
miserably bad, yes. It's one of the worst MCU movies that's out there.
And apparently, it took the Ragnarok formula and just went even worse. Is that kind of what happened?
Yeah, he just went full on. I mean, I had criticisms about Ragnarok, not so much because of I don't think it was like a bad movie. I just think it was tonally a wrong shift. I think there was some good stuff in it, but I think it didn't match I thought Thor didn't match his character from the previous movies. Right. And when you have someone come in who clearly doesn't give a fuck about anything, that's not surprising. I think Taika Waititi is a talented filmmaker, but I don't think he belongs in a franchise where there's already other people working on it and working within it.
I agree. I mean, that's the Michael Bay thing that we talked about with Michael Bay, where I like a lot of Michael Bay stuff outside of the Transformers movies. And while I did like the first Transformers movie, the second and the third are just awful fucking train wrecks. You know what I mean? But when he does things like The Rock or 13 Hours or Bad Boys, he's fantastic. But yeah, Taika Waititi clearly is not the type of guy who respects the franchise. Now, he's also working on a Star Wars movie, correct?
Star Wars movie. He's got 4 other projects to finish before he works on that. But yes, he's working on it.
We've reached a point now where Star Wars used to be the goal for so many filmmakers. It used to be if you were offered a Star Wars project, man, that was the defining moment of your career. Now we're at a point where if Star Wars projects offered, you got these people who are like, I've got like 4 other projects I'm working on.
I've got like 4 independent movies that I need to finish before I work on my fucking Star Wars movie.
I know, man. It's wild.